before we get to some previews, I wanted to circle back on the Michigan quarterback situation. JJ McCarthy is a guy going forward. I don't think there's a situation where Cade plays his way back into this, nor do I think there's a situation where JJ necessarily plays himself out of this. I watched that game against Hawaii. I had mentioned, like, I don't know how that's really a measuring stick for anybody because that team is very bad. But in saying that, I also learned zero things about JJ McCarthy, and I mean that in the most complimentary way to that kid, because most teams that have a 5-star who is a top 25 recruit who's been in the program for a year, getting ready to start at quarterback, playing a team like Hawaii, you expect him to go out there. If it's Ohio State, Clemson, if it's Alabama, one of those teams, you expect their quarterback to go out there and do what JJ McCarthy did. And he rose up and he played phenomenally. The guy is absolutely electric. He's box office on the football field. There were 2 passes that really stood out to me. The one in the red zone where he had to throw a strike into a tight window. I thought that was a really good pass for a young quarterback. And then rolling out to his left, throwing it to the sideline, a little scramble drill, making things happen on the move, I think is great. But I don't think I'm going to learn anything about JJ McCarthy until it's 3rd and 10 and the game is tight. You got to have it. You're running out of time, and he makes a huge play and rises up to that occasion. In saying all that, this offense is in great hands. It can be as wide open as they want it to be. Their defenses are going to be challenged against what JJ McCarthy brings. And the flip side of that is I've been a Cade McNamara apologist. I got no dog in the fight. I feel really bad for that kid for all the things that he did last year, beating Ohio State, winning a Big Ten championship, college football playoff for the first time in that program's history. Goes out there, he gets booed. He's got a captain's patch on his jersey. That's an awful feeling.
Yeah, and I mean, just peeling this back, do I think that Michigan ultimately made the best decision for Michigan moving forward?
Yes.
100%. 100%. 100%.
Did they put Cade McNamara in a bad situation?
And I think they set him up. Like and that's why I made the comment, like, handle this during the offseason, because at the end of the day, whether JJ McCarthy was hurt during spring ball, the beginning of training camp, it doesn't matter.
They knew.
To your point, he's been on campus for a year now.
They knew.
And as a coaching staff, if you knew that was the direction you were going, do right by Cade and give the kid a chance to go somewhere else and play because of what he did for you. Right. Like, and that's what I would expect from a coach who I laid everything on the line for and ultimately experienced a lot of success that the program hasn't experienced in a really long time.
Yeah.
Do right by that kid and give him a chance. And that's where I just feel grimy about the whole situation, is that it's like, and understanding the dynamic of that position. Like, people know, the locker room knew, like, JJ is an extremely, extremely talented individual, and it was just a matter of time. But when you're dealing with a situation like that, I think that there's a way where you can be a pro about it. And Jim Harbaugh did not do it in a professional manner, because at the end of the day, it was apples to oranges the entire time. Even when the fact that JJ played in the first game was like, it's done at that point. And JJ, and if you're Cade, like, you had to know that. So it's like, that's it. That's the damn shame for me. And that's where I just get the heebie-jeebies about it. Like, it's just like, man, it's wrong.
Yeah, I kind of, we both laid it out, right? You're Cade McNamara. You feel like you got the edge the whole time in camp. And then a week before the season, you're delivered this news that it's going to be an ongoing competition into the season, and you got to be the first guy to go out there. So you got to set the tone, and there's a pressure of that. And you know that your job's not secure. And JJ McCarthy's got nothing to lose compared to Cade McNamara, because he didn't have the resume coming in.
He was still going to play this year. He was still going to play this year.
Yeah. And you write your own story, because now you're Cade McNamara. You got to live up to what you did a year ago, even through the criticism you had a year ago. And JJ McCarthy is like the backup quarterback's always the most popular guy on campus anyway. And so I'm with you on that. And the angle that not a lot of people take on this, and maybe might be unfair to frame it like this too, but Jim Harbaugh, he was coaching for his job a year ago. And if it wasn't for the way that Cade McNamara played, we don't know if Jim Harbaugh is still at Michigan. If Michigan goes, they have a 7-win season.
Yep.
We're probably talking about
even
a different
an 8-win
coach
season.
I mean, and so with that, you feel like you owe that quarterback the opportunity to maybe look elsewhere or just to settle it in camp, you certainly don't want that guy to go out there and get booed by your home fans.
Yep.
You put him in that position, and I feel like that was a little bit grimy there. But this is also like it's the underbelly of college football. As much as it's collegiate, it's big business, and things happen like this. And everybody's got to try to move forward as pros about it. But just from my perspective, and I feel like you resonate with this, I don't know how that kid walks in that locker room every day. I would be a mess.
Yeah. And that's you hit it. You hit the nail on the head at the end of the day. And I feel like with how much coaching has become and college football has become such big business, at the end of the day, you're still a teacher of life, and you're a developer of human beings. And I know people talk about that. It's kind of cliche, but how you handle business is ultimately going to reflect how the 125 guys that you're responsible for 3, 4, 5 years, now 6 with COVID, how they're going to carry on and their experiences. And at the end of the day, you're Cade deserved better. He deserved better because he saved you when you needed him most. Do right by him. And that's the human element that I think gets lost in the business element of sports, especially today. And I wish fans even looked at it like that too, where if you really take a step back, like what that kid did was historic. Whether or not you want him pulling the trigger for you or not this year is beside the point. Take the human element of it, because that kid should be celebrated at the University of Michigan, and he should have the chance to go and save his career now elsewhere.
Right.
But now he's going to lose another year. I think he's got 2 more years after this. So he's obviously going to be gone, but there's an element of like allowing him to have at least, got his foot in the door somewhere, get comfortable this year, and then go and compete in the next offseason. Now he's kind of got to start a little bit behind the 8 ball. And there's, to me, like I said, just be a human. Show me some heartbeat. You know what I mean? Like show me something here. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just what I wish I would have seen from Harbaugh.
I totally agree. And where I'm at right now, like I hope the absolute best for Cade McNamara and his career moving forward. And same thing for JJ McCarthy, because I 100%. Think when Michigan is great, that college football is better. The Big Ten is more fun. And like both of these kids, the way that they have publicly handled this, I think is commendable for young people as well. And we shouldn't lose sight of that, because they were both in a really tough spot to have to go out and face media and to talk about this situation. And I think both of them have looked absolutely professional in it. So hats off to those 2 young men, doing a great job up there in Ann Arbor.
What's going on, guys? Rob Doster here, the founder of the Field of 68 and the Field of 12 Media Networks. I wanted to take a quick minute to let you guys know about an exciting new project that we have been working on for the last 3 months. The Almanac, an all-encompassing preview of the 2022-23 college basketball season. We spoke with every single Division I head coach to give you a robust and accurate preview for all 363 Division I college basketball teams. We have predictions for conference finishes for all 32 leagues. We have features on the best freshmen, the best big men, the breakout stars, the coaches on the hot seat, so much more. It is 600,000 words of sheer happiness for the college basketball fan in your life. The Almanac is going to be available for digital purchase on September 26th for just $19.99, but you can pre-order it today using the promo code HOOPS and save 20%. Just hit the link in the description below.